Hi, everybody. It's Gene Simmons, and you're not, and you're listening to the Potter Than Hell podcast with Steve, BC, BB, and Dylan. But you knew that, didn't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Potter Than Hell podcast. This is your last stop on the crazy train of hard rock and heavy metal. So sit back, buckle in, and hang on. Here we go.
Hello, Potter Than Hellions. Welcome back to the Potter Than Hell podcast. This is Steve, your host, and with me this week is
BC.
And on his left is
BB.
And across from him on the keyboards is
Dylan.
All right, guys. Hey, welcome back. It's good to be back. Feels like I haven't done this in forever. I've been off for a couple weeks. Had a little golf vacation on Myrtle Beach with my other son Carson and my dad, and I think there were 8 or 9 other guys. So it was a good trip. Had some good golf down there. Some great weather. It was 85 degrees when we left Myrtle Beach that day. I got out of my vehicle in front of my house. It was fucking snowing in Pennsylvania, so that kind of sucked. What are you going to do? So it was good rest. These guys did a Foo Fighters episode while I was gone. It makes me appreciate my vacation even more that they got that shit out of the way when I'm not here. So
Dylan, next year we're going to do something really good that he's going to be pissed off that he wasn't here for.
Well, you did last year when we did Scorpions.
Oh, that's right.
Fuck!
Scorpions.
That's right.
That was a good episode, too.
That was fun. But I at least got to do the live one a couple weeks later. So the week before that, did we even get to talk about the 200th episode?
We hinted at it.
You guys did.
Yeah, we
okay,
so
this is going to be the first one.
Okay, so you guys would have heard
that.
that by now. So
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed that. We did the Gene Simmons top makeup songs from us guys. We had a Kiss crew. We had Rob. We had Scott. We had Chris Granza. And we had Mark Satorka here. Mark could only stay for the first part. I hope you guys enjoyed both parts. And I want to thank our podcast buddies out there that gave us their top 5 Gene makeup songs. It was a lot of fun doing that. And I always enjoy those episodes.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, you think of a lot of podcasts, it's just like 2 guys, talking back and forth. We had 8 at a table, which I think is just amazing because there's so many different varieties of songs that we picked that, and it's great because there's just a big camaraderie with us when we get like all those guys together. It's just a great Kiss family good time with those guys.
Yeah, I had a great time with everybody. Everybody has such different opinions on things that it makes it interesting. Because if we were all had the same thoughts on it, it would be a pretty boring conversation. But thankfully, everybody has very different thoughts on like the same thing, which is really, really cool. Very cool indeed.
A lot of fun. I mean, a lot of ball busting, of course. And it was like I said, at the round table, it was around the square table. But definitely would look forward to doing that again, maybe with a different topic even.
Yeah, because that's our Kiss crew. That's our Kiss episode. They're our guys.
A little bit of everything in one day. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, and actually, we didn't hear it yet because we're recording today on the 5th of May, and
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, Cinco de Mayo. Actually, happy Cinco de Mayo, all of our friends from Mexico and of Mexican descent. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Actually, yeah, I'm drinking Corona Light. These guys are drinking Sam Adams. Dylan's drinking Brisk, so I'm not sure what country that's from. So I can't wait to hear it because I know there were parts there. I hope Dylan was able to, because there were parts where everybody was talking. That's the only thing that's tough because there was one part and I was like, everyone was talking. So I hope I'm sure Dylan did a good job of getting rid of some of that.
Fingers crossed.
As always.
As always. I have no worries in that respect for sure. So, guys, cheers to 200.
Yeah. Who would have thunk?
Dylan's plastic bottle. And 200 more. Absolutely. So, like I said, 2000, I think it was July 2nd, 2017, we recorded the first one in BC's former home that is totally redone now. I told you we should have got that as a historic building. I'm telling you. And here we are now, 200 episodes later, where this is 201, right? Yep. So we did Kiss there, so we might as well we'll do a little AC/DC today, as you guys can see in the thing, and great topic to be able to talk about. We'll get into that a little bit in a couple minutes. And before we get rolling on here, what have you guys been listening to? It's been a long time since we kind of sat together, and What do you guys got going? How about you, Dylan? What have you been listening to?
I've had one album on my rotation, and it is Royal Blood's Typhoons. Fantastic album. I love it. Front to back, it's fantastic. The 1-2-3 punch of Trouble Comin', Oblivion, and Typhoons is such a good way to open the album. I've been blown away. This might be I think this might be my favorite album from them, but I have to listen to the other two because there's so many songs that I love on it. Boilermakers, such a jam, and they just they're 3 for 3 for me for sure. I don't know if anybody else listened to Royal Blood, but I really enjoyed it. It's definitely making my top of the year. I can say that for sure.
Anybody else listening to that?
I did. I'm like
What'd you
4
think?
songs in. Once again, I cannot believe the sounds that those guys make, and there's only 2 of them.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind.
BC, you didn't check it out? I checked it out on the way home from Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it, but it's different from the other two.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
got keyboards on it.
Yeah,
It's got
for-
keyboard accents on it. But it's like dance music.
It's got a lot of
It's got a lot of like
groove to it.
Like groove, like more than the other ones. All I can think of is like just this is like fucking hard fucking dance music.
Yeah, but it's very.
And I don't mean that in a bad way. It was not what I expected it. I don't know what I expected it to be, but that wasn't it.
You can't help but like bop your head
But
to
it's
it.
cool, and like you're right, BB. The sounds these guys get, and there's 2 of them. It's crazy. And you know, from the time we saw them on their first album, I mean, they were able to reproduce that sound and that feel.
Yeah,
I would like to see what they would do now, because I mean, is he gonna do like a keyboard pedal like Geddy Lee?
I believe they currently have like 2 background singers, and I think one of them does keyboards. So it's like they have a backing, to do the electronic stuff.
Hey,
but
as long as they're not hiding behind the stage.
Yeah,
put them out on the stage. With it. I'm good with
It's-
that.
it's
Not
clear that
not
they're
to get into
playing.
that whole discussion,
Yeah.
but I liked it though. I listened to it all the way through. It was cool. How about you, BC? What do you got going?
I'm old school. So I've gone back to the Brides of Destruction with Here Comes the Brides. I checked out some Slick Toxic with Doing the Nasty.
Whoa.
And then I got a little modernized today. I started checking out the Treatment's new one, Waiting for Good Luck. Since we're in the
How is that?
AC.
I see that all over the
It's
place.
good.
There's another one, and I forget the band. It seems like it's all over the place. Gothica or something?
Of who? From who?
Is it Gothica? Is there? I'd have to see. I'll have to check it. I'll have to show you.
Yeah, Brides of Destruction, great. Nikki Sixx, Tracy Guns, fucking awesome. And that's actually, isn't it the guy that sings for 6 a.m.? Isn't he the singer on that? No, or no? No? Okay. But it has that kind of feel, though. It has like for me, like an early 6 a.m. feel. It's rocking, though. Great album. Slick Toxic, Doing the Nasty, fucking excellent album. The Treatment, I listened to that once all the way through. It was good, but I didn't get a chance to really scope it. How about you, Bannon? What do you got?
Hanging around the house the other day, I had the Hairball John app on BC. You'd be proud of me of that. That's always one of my go-to things because it's all over the board. I borrowed BC Truck today. I finally finished the End Machine album, so that is finally finished. I think BC has said this before, and even Steve, a lot better than the first one. And then while I was listening to Hairball John, Ready to Strike from King Cobra came on. I'm like, oh my God, I got to go back and check that album out. So I just listened to that about 2 hours ago. So I am all over the board this week.
All right, and for me, it's weird. A couple weeks ago, I was listening on. It was like a Friday, and I go through the new music on Apple, and this album came up, Scream Machine, self-titled, and I literally listened to it. When Sonny Pooney sends it to me, and he's like, "Hey, check this out." I'm like, I'm literally listening to it right now. I listened to it like twice today. Friggin' excellent. It reminds me of a cross between Wolf and King Diamond, but without the high vocal. Like when King Diamond sings in the regular voice. There's some parts that I'm thinking it's fucking King. It's not, but it sounds just like King Diamond, and really good stuff. And I'm still listening to the Blaze Bayley War Within Me album. It's fucking fantastic. There's some great shit on there, just great straightforward metal. And when I was in Myrtle Beach, I dabbled in a lot of Rush down there for some reason. I was kind of no specific album. I just kind of shuffled around, listened to some stuff from All the World's a Stage, and my usual favorite songs from. I put on pretty much R40 and R30, the live songs live from there, like Red Barchetta, shit like that. So I had a pretty good mix going down there. So Dylan's got Royal Blood, Typhoons. BB's got In Machine, Phase 2, and King Cobra Ready to Strike. BC's got quite an assortment today. Brides of Destruction, Slick Toxic, Doing the Nasty, and The Treatment, Waiting for Good Luck. And myself, Scream Machine, self-titled, a new album from this year. Blaze Bailey, actually from this year as well, War Within Me, and a mix of Rush. So, with that being said, we have this.
The Potter Than Hell podcast presents Random Thoughts with Sonny Hollywood Pooty.
Now, I haven't listened to this yet, so.
How much money do you think BC has in his wallet right now? You think he will let you borrow some? Does he have any money?
Like right now?
Right now.
In your wallet.
I don't have my wallet on me.
Well, there goes us. You know,
So much for
As soon
guessing.
as you said that, I was like, wow.
Wait, I don't have a wallet.
Well, that's because he knew
boy.
BB was bringing beer for him.
I was going out the door.
That's
I'm
right.
like, I don't need
I don't need anything. BB's bringing beer.
All right, so the answer is none.
None.
none. No
Zero.
wallet.
No wallet.
anticlimactic,
No wallet.
Random thought.
Well, because Sonny, he texted me. He's like, "Is BC going to be there this week?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's supposed to be." So that's why I said to you at work. I'm like, you need to
boy.
be there.
Well, you want to guess? I know how much is in there.
In
All
your
right.
wallet? Okay.
I'm gonna guess $350,
Gonna guess $25.
and I'm gonna say it's probably more than I said.
$127. You probably got like three.
It's now we're doing Price is Right rules. It's the closest without going
Yeah.
over.
No, I actually organized it today, and I have $370 in it.
Wow,
Man,
Yeah,
oh man.
baby.
that was close.
$20 off.
That was close. And
You,
didn't go-
you win the contents of his wallet. Ding, 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 ding.
Just when we change shifts on Friday, just give it to me then.
Stop at the house.
All right, so I win. All right, awesome. All right, so there's our random thoughts of Sonny Pooney. Very good. So let's talk some AC/DC. Always a great subject to talk about. I figured this would be not a very labor-intensive subject to talk about. We're going to do our dream set list and AC/DC concerts, since hopefully once shit gets going here, they have a new album out, and we'll be able to hopefully see them live, not with Axl and the Throne, with Brian Johnson back in the fold, and Cliff Williams is back, and Phil Rudd, and Georgie Young, and of course Angus. So I had a good time doing this because my initial thought was I'm going to have them come out and do Back in Black the whole album.
and that's it.
And that's it. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
But then, because we kind of cut it down to 20 songs, right? Is that what I said?
18 and 2.
18
encore.
and 2 encore songs, or however you wanted to do it. Because I goofed that one. I changed that one to my own list too. But I was gonna do that, but then after having all those 10 songs, I'm like, it's gonna leave too much out of the 18. So I was thinking I should have said however many songs make a reasonable concert, but I actually followed the rules.
Wow.
Pretty much.
A new leaf in the next 200 episodes.
Wow.
Don't get used to it. I'm just going to tell you that right now. So we picked out of the new, the semi. It's getting kind of beat up there.
It is
BB,
getting-
the Shitty Raiders hat.
It's
The new
baseball.
Shitty Raiders hat.
Yeah. You got to get the Red Sox
the,
out now.
The trucker one. Yeah. Do they still have a team?
Oh, yeah.
Do they?
They're leading the AL East, if you wanted to know.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're doing pretty good.
okay. For now.
For now. Yeah.
They'll blow it later.
Very early.
They'll blow it later.
Yeah.
So we picked out of the hat, and BB, you're first, actually. You picked your own name out.
That's right.
Go ahead, my friend.
Alrighty. I kind of went back and forth on this one. And I said, since it's a dream set list, I didn't want to involve Brian Johnson because since he's still out there, and there's still opportunity for him to sing AC/DC songs if they ever, tour for their latest album. I said, if this is going to be a dream set list, Bon Scott is going to be my singer all the way through. So I'm going back to 1979.
I meant to say that if they toured now.
Oh.
Well, you didn't.
Well, you didn't. So now
It's your list. Do whatever you want to do.
So we're going back to 1979. And I can imagine something like this maybe down like the Kirby Center. Because I don't think back at this time, I think they used to be opening acts. As somebody I work with actually saw AC/DC open up for Rainbow. So he saw Bon Scott and Dio down at the Kirby Center. So the Kirby Center is like an old made theater. So there's
Probably
probably
like the Paramount or something.
yeah,
or
that's what it
something
was
like
actually
that.
called
Yeah.
because Kiss even played there
Yeah.
too. So there's probably how many people do you think fit in there?
Probably 1,500.
15. I was gonna say 1,200, but it's a small venue, so you're gonna get a really cool performance from these guys. So back 1979, you got this white, dirty, humongous curtain with just spray painted red AC/DC on it. So it's just old and ratty to the core. And the opening riff from Riff Raff comes on. And the second it stops, you get this little explosion, the curtain drops, and boom, the drums start going, curtain drops, get this great heavy guitar intro to this song, right through, big drums, fantastic, great way to open up a show with Riff Raff off of Power Rage. So today is actually Power Rage's birthday.
It is. I saw that.
So we're gonna open up
The best AC/DC album.
open up the show with that, because I just love that guitar intro, and I think it, with the curtain dropping, it fit perfectly. Song number 2 they're gonna play is from Highway to Hell, Beating Around a Bush. Another heavy tune. Just keeps this momentum rocking. Once again, the big drums, heavy guitar riffs, some really good band vocals together with this song. I really, really enjoy this one. And then we go song number 3, Let There Be Rock. So we got 1, 2, 3. Let There Be Rock, kind of somewhat of a fan favorite, but I love that song. It really, really, really great older tune from AC/DC. And it's just another kick-ass song. And just 1, 2, 3 punch out of these guys. That was a great way to start this little show we got going on. So song number 4 is from Dirty Deeds, Rocker. Once again, we're running on all cylinders now. This song's another great hidden gem from that album. Fantastic song, definitely a deep cut. Love that tune. Song number 5, we'll kind of slow it down and keep everybody kind of happy here. We'll play a little High Voltage. It's always one of those, the fan favorite again. You can't have a whole dream set list and not keep everybody happy, because I'm sure I'm not the only one there in this dream. But High Voltage, another great tune. Song number 6 from Dirty Deeds, we're gonna go with Love at First Feel. Another deep cut, just like Rocker, Love at First Feel. I love this song. Dirty Deeds album is just a fantastic album, and a great song. I would love to see them do that live. Song number 7 from Jailbreak 74. Let's go with Jailbreak, BC. Love that song. Always a fan favorite, especially in my wheelhouse. Love Jailbreak. It's just a great, heavy rockin' song. Get the crowd screaming, Jailbreak. I could actually love seeing that live. Song number 9 from Power Rage, Sin City. I love that short 7-chord note that it opens up, and then the drums just come in and you start like a bombastic sound that these drums are making. So you're 9 songs in, and you're just jumping all over the place. Song number 10 from Highway to Hell. We'll slow it down just a little bit. We'll go with Night Prowler. Always a great song. Love this song. It's slower, it's darker, it has that bluesy kind of feel to it. Always one of my favorites from that album. And song number 11 from Power Rage again, Up in My Neck and You. I've always loved this song. This is like a super duper deep track. If these guys ever played that song live, I would probably go nuts. But it's just a great song from that album. And song number 12, we're going to go back to Highway to Hell with Touch Too Much. Another great song. Big drums, great beat to that song. Fantastic song. Fits well into the groove of what we're going here. Song number 13 off of Dirty Deeds, Squealer. Once again, another deep track. I see these crowds just jumping around. They're singing Squeal. Just great atmosphere that this old show is turning out to have. Song number 14 from Highway to Hell, Girls Got Rhythm. Another great song and another popular song. Has a great beat. And it's an iconic, deeper track for these guys. So I wanted to throw that song in the set list. And song number 15 is Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be. This is a big, strong, more heavy drums on this song. And this song is a great way to finish the first set. Because when Steve says we're going to have 2 encores, I kind of twist it around. So we're going to have 2 encores instead of 2 song encores. So the first encore, they're coming back. They're just going to play like a big popular song encore list. They're going to come back. They're going to do Dirty Deeds. They're going to do TNT, and they're going to do a whole lot of Rosie. 1, 2, 3 punch encore. The great songs. Every AC/DC fan knows that. Then they go off. Then they come back out for a 2-song encore. Since we're back in 1979, we might as well throw the title track, Highway to Hell, out there. Just another great riff. You can see them coming out to that song. And to close this dream concert out, the only way I could think possible is we play It's a Long Way to the Top with 50 bagpipers coming out on stage. When the bagpipers part starts, they just come from both sides, 25 on each side, and they're just blowing bagpipes. Crowd's going nuts. Song's going an extra 5 minutes with the bagpipes and the band and the drummers, and we're having a fantastic AC/DC 1979 party.
All right, cool. I like it. That would have been a good show to see for sure. Kirby Center, and like you said, they had a lot of big shows go through there. Back in the day, and I think I'm gonna say '74. I think Kiss played there, but I mean, and we've seen a shitload of cool bands there. I mean, do you guys ever see the? I don't know if it was the Midnight Special or one of those shows where AC/DC's playing, and then Angus goes out in the crowd. He's up in the fucking balcony, fucking shredding. I don't know if it's Let There Be Rock or Whole Lot of Rosie. One of those kick-ass songs. He's like literally up in the fucking balcony, fucking just like playing and like sitting in the seats and shit. Fucking rock. I can't think of what. I'm pretty sure it's Whole Lot of Rosie or Let There Be Rock. It's fucking fantastic. And that's what. As soon as you said Kirby, something that'd be the perfect fucking place for him to do
just
that.
Just be bouncing around.
For sure, absolutely. I like it. Cool.
Definitely cool show. I like the end there. The end. Surprise at the end. Bam.
Little surprise.
But great set list. I mean.
You may hear a couple of those songs.
You may hear 2 or 3.
And another concept as well. Go ahead, Dylan.
The cool thing about this is I love all the songs that you mentioned, but I only have 4 of the same songs. Ooh. So it's really cool that we get to showcase so much of AC/DC. I liked your idea of doing just the Bon Scott era. I was thinking of doing something similar, but decided against it. I'm glad that somebody did, because there are a lot of great songs in this era that can be spotlighted. Opening with Riff Raff is a fantastic idea. I mean, that's a bombastic, punch you in the face. Nightcrawler is an interesting choice for sure. I like it.
That was always one of my favorites.
Nanu.
Yeah.
I know. Somebody at the table does not like it, and it is the reason that he thinks that their best album is not their best album. It's a. Okay, I liked Beating Around the Bush as well. Oh, yeah. That was a really good choice, because that's my favorite AC/DC song. I did not put it on my list because I knew that you were going to feature it, so I wanted to pick a different thing. But yeah, that was a really, really good pick, and they should play that live, because that is such a good song. It has everything that you could want in an AC/DC song, just like the bombastic ending where it's just, and you think it's over, and then you do dang, 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 dang. It's just one of my. It's a favorite AC/DC song of mine. So Beating Around the Bush. So I'm glad you picked it so we could talk about it tonight.
That is a good one. All right, so my turn. Yeah, Nightcrawler's not good. Okay,
love it.
Sorry, send the hate mail to me. I decided to go totally opposite of BB. I'm going like if I was putting together an AC/DC show to go out on the road like right now. So this is going to be a show you can put in a stadium, or you can put in an arena type venue, which nowadays AC/DC players are going to fucking sell out. They're going to fucking sell out the show. Yeah. However, there may be some disappointed fans by the end of my show. So my stage is going to be one of the huge stages. It's got the big ramp that goes out into the crowd, like halfway out into the crowd, so that Angus and Brian Johnson could go out and hang with the crowd and sing with them and shit like that. And Angus could do his run and duck walk up and down and stuff like that. And there are going to be screens on the side because I like when they did that on the, I don't know if it's a Thunderstruck video where they had the clear walkways and the camera would be under him when he's going down, like the...
Yeah, it
I
was
think Thunderstruck is the video.
It was
video,
Thunderstruck
yeah.
because
that's
we
it.
did it in the VMA
right
episode.
So I thought that was cool. I think that'd be cool to have up on the screens once in a while too. So and then there's a curtain off area at the back of the arena when you come in to go to your seats. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Show's going to start with Hell's Bells. The bell's going to come down from the middle of the arena to the end of the out stage. Brian Johnson's going to be on the bell, and it's going to be ringing. This Hell's Bells is going to start the show. The background's going to be like a big screen type thing. It's going to be just like thunder and lightning crackling for the song for Hell's Bells to start the show. Which, and like I've always said, like I always thought that Back in Black opened up that fucking album. I always thought Hell's Bells was side 2. So it's actually starting with the first song on Black in Black, and then it's going to go right. And then as soon as that song ends, it's going to go right into Flick of the Switch. You're not going to get that little part in the beginning. You're just going to get the main riff into the song, go right into Flick of the Switch. I love the parts, the background vocals of AC/DC, whether it be Malcolm and Cliff or now Georgie and Cliff, where they're in the back rocking out and they walk up to the microphones. But the microphones are going to be a little further up, so they're closer to the crowd. They're not going to be, way back. So they're going to have a little further to travel
Make them
on
work
this
harder.
show.
That's right.
I love when they come up and they do their background vocals and they go back and they just carry the show with the rhythm section. And then that song ends, the big blow up, big fat Whole Lot of Rosie comes up behind the drum thing. They do Whole Lot of Rosie. And then that song ends, the backdrop comes down, Las Vegas Strip, they do Sin City. But they don't do the do. They skip. They just go. There's any little intro like that to a song, they're fucking skipping.
Get rid
they
of
just
half
go,
the songs.
They just go right to the main riff of the song. Get Vegas back, the Strip backdrop for Sin City, and then now this part. The bagpipers come out for It's a Long Way to the Top If You Want to Rock and Roll, and I have it written right down there. Chorus of bagpipers line the stage. They do. That was always a dream. I know I've said it on the podcast before. I always thought that would be fantastic to do. Every town, every city has a bagpipe thing, like a fire department bagpipe band or police department bagpipe band, or just like an AOH type thing, where they could pick from that and have these guys come out and do that song and do that. I think it would be fucking fantastic. And so they do that, so that dream comes true for me. And then lights go out, and then the big fucking Green Goblin fucking Mack truck comes up on the screen, and they do Who Made Who. And then they're going to go into Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. So in the background, it's going to be all hitmen doing hits. Like from movies, like the movie Hitman. It's going to be like assassins like killing people and shit on the background of the screens for Dirty Deeds. And then we're skipping the for Riff Raff. We're just going right into for Riff Raff. Absolutely love that song. Then they're going to bring it down a little bit. They're going to do almost the same exact version of High Voltage that they did on the AC/DC Live, where they stretch the song out and there's a big, huge rhythm guitar part in it. And at the end of it, there's like a big explosion. Boom, the lights go out. And then just like a background swirling type music goes on for like maybe 5 minutes or so. The crowd's like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden the lights go on at the back of the arena and that curtain comes down and they have an old bar scene set up. And it's like a smoky bar. There's people at the bar and they're the bar band. And then they just do a little mellower part. They get into the jack. They do the jack in the smoke-filled bar. Then they really mellow it down. Brian Johnson grabs a stool, lights up a fucking Marlboro. Then they do Gone Shooting. Absolutely love that song. And then they finish the bar scene with Have a Drink on Me. And everybody's doing shots at the bar when they're playing this song. And then that picks up the momentum. Then, boom, the lights go out. The band goes off the stage. And then so you're waiting for a little bit more. You get a little more swirly kind of atmosphere kind of thing. And then all of a sudden, boom, the light goes on at the top of the arena. And here's Angus on like a Gene Simmons type platform doing the Thunderstruck intro. That intro we're doing. And then so as that's playing, he's slowly coming down to the front of the out part of the stage. and then they get into Thunderstruck, then they get right into Walk All Over You, and then what they do is next they start Jailbreak. But on the back screen, they show the video that they did with Bon Scott, where they're like breaking the rocks in the Chain Gang, and they show Bon Scott, and he like sings right along with it, and so that's kind of their tribute to Bon Scott on this show, actually to Bon and to Malcolm as well. And then they go into Let There Be Rock, just total rocker. Angus just runs up and down that fucking long stage and the sides and shit, just doing the rockin' solos in that song. Then they end the first set with Highway to Hell, gets the crowd all pumped up and shit. They go off, boom, lights go out. So they come up for the encore. For those about to rock, this whole stage is lined with fucking cannons. And now Georgie and Cliff, there's clear plastic on top of the cannons, and they are out on them as well. The whole band is out front for this song. And then when the cannons are blowing at the end, they're like right on top of them, and they're fucking blowing out into the crowd. And so then that's like kind of, you get Cliff and you get the whole band out, and they move the drums out as well to the center, and Angus and Brian are out on the front part. So the whole band is out front right at the crowd for those about to rock. Then they do a 1-2 punch from Back in Black. They do Shoot the Thrill, which is one of my favorite all-time fucking AC/DC songs. I will never, ever, not ever turn that song off. And then they end the show with Back in Black. And that's my show.
Wow.
I still can't hear from the cannons.
What? Jesus, maybe he should have went last. Wow. Great, amazing show. Like Flick of the Switch, a great tune. Who Made Who? I love how you want to throw like all the different ways of like killing of dirty deeds up there on the video screen, and plus the tribute to Bon Scott would be amazing. But I really enjoyed the little bar scene. Very good, Wrighty. Very, very nice. I
wanted to do something a little different, little
definitely
something extra for the crowd.
Loved it.
Again, I'm just playing the show back in my head right now, just all the different backdrops and shit. I mean, the Vegas trip, the bar scene. Of course, who doesn't like a good bar scene?
Mm-hmm. Of course, we're at the bar.
Yeah,
we did the show, so we're promoting the show. So we're the guys at the bar. They'll have some brisk for Dylan.
VIP.
Dylan's the bartender.
But Setlist, very over the board, good. But
yeah, I didn't put any new songs on there because I'm not really that familiar with the new album. So if I had to, I could do a little medley of the new songs somewhere in the middle there. And
Sprinkle.
And I didn't get into any of the like late '90s, early 2000s ones because they all sound the same.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They're all that mid-tempo
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, they're good, but they're not worthy of my dream set.
Yeah. You have 8 songs that I have on my list. This seems like a realistic set list that they would do. Like, I could see them doing it today. Adding in a new song here or there. But, like, most of those songs, I can't see them being like, oh, we're never going to play that. Maybe Flick of the Switch. I mean, that might be a little more towards the, like, obscure side, quote-unquote, even though it is a great song. Like, but you hit, like, most of the check marks that you want from an AC/DC show. For those about to rock with the cannons, Whole Lot of Rosie with the blow up. You hit all the landmarks while adding in some cool stuff. So I really enjoyed that set list.
Yeah, well, what I did was when I wrote my list down, I wrote 6 songs that you have to play. No, 6 songs you have to play, and I'm like, I'm not playing fucking You Shook Me All Night Long. I'm just not going to do it because that wouldn't be my dream set. My dream is to not see that. So I wrote down 6 songs that you have to see, and it was like Back in Black for Those About to Rock, Thunderstruck, Whole Lot of Rosie, and Let There Be Rock. I think they were my songs that,
They're staples.
Staples that you kind of need to have.
Yeah.
And so then the rest I was like, I wanted to pick something like Flick of the Switch, Fly in the Wall type era. I was going to put in there That's the Way I Like to Rock and Roll from Heat Seeker, Blow Up Your Video rather. But I went for Flick of the Switch instead because I thought it was the catchiest, the more rockin' of that era, and I wanted to do Who Made Who because I think that's a cool song, and I really like that. I love the Green Goblin fucking truck. That's fucking cool. Even though that movie kind of sucked, but that was a cool part of the movie.
You mean you didn't like when the guy got killed by the vending machine throwing the cans at him?
I liked when the fucking cutting knife attacked that one dude. That was kind of cool. All right, so there's mine. There's BB's. And before we do the gem song, I want to remind you guys, if you're listening to this today, on the 14th of May when this comes out, we are doing a live stream this evening. It'll be me, BB. It'll be Sonny and Steven from Growing Up Rock. It'll be Tom and Zeus from Shout Out Loudcast. We are going to be doing, what do we call it? Hair Metal Madness. Hair Metal Madness. So tune in to see what that is going to be all about. We figure we would give the draft a rest on the live stream, so it was our turn to host. So I wanted to do something different. So it's always cool talking about, in quotations, whether you're offended or not. That's pretty much what is considered anymore hair metal. I think that term now is accepted. It was an insult back then because the thrash bands and shit called all those bands hair bands, but I think it's a pretty accepted term now. You know what I mean? And it's a broad definition of that genre of music. I mean, you could call it 80s classic hard rock or whatever you want to call it, but if someone says hair metal, you know what the fuck they're talking about. Is pretty much what it comes down to anymore. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. We each picked 3 albums, and we're going to have a good discussion on them and talk about the songs and likes and dislikes. And I'm sure the dislikes will be a little more argumentative than the than the likes, but always a good time. So tune in tonight. It'll be 8 o'clock if you're listening to it tonight, and if you don't catch it live, it'll be on our Facebook page. So check it out and give it a listen and let us know what you guys think. And if you're around and you're listening, interact with us. We'll. It's a live stream. You guys can, send in questions or comments, and we'll read them off and, interact with us doing that. So definitely check it out tonight, the live stream. Myself and BB, Shout Out Loudcast guys, and Growing Up Rock. So always a good time with those guys. So crack a beer and have a beer with us while we're, talking like fucking idiots on there. So before we get into the hidden gems, we're going to play. I'm going to thrash it up a little bit today. I'm going to shift into thrash mode, I think, for our gym song today. So I'm going to play a little Exodus today, little Downfall.
Nice.
From the Exhibit B, The Human Condition. Song is fucking fantastic. I love it. Rob Dukes, Exodus, absolutely love it. And so Exodus, Downfall. Check it out. All right, we're back. Hope you guys enjoyed Exodus Downfall from Exhibit B, The Human Condition. Friggin' fantastic album. Fucking love that. Probably my all-time favorite thrash album. Absolutely love that album. Front to back, fucking fantastic. It's a little long, but a great album, though, so check it out. If you like thrash, this album is just front to top fucking fantastic. So time for Hidden Gems here. What do you got, BB?
Let's go back to the good old days of Kelly Hansen and Hurricane. Go back to the album Slave to the Thrill, the song In the Fire. It's a deeper track. I think it's like 7 or 8. Starts off with a really cool steel guitar sound. Kelly comes in with a big, humongous vocal. Love these guys. Love Kelly's vocals. Fantastic song. Into the Fire from Hurricane off the Slave to the Thrill album.
Love that Dokken song.
What do you got, Dylan?
My hidden
Dock
gem,
it into the fire.
my hidden gem is an album we're going to be talking about in a later episode when we talk about best of the year so far. Dirty Honey's debut album. Fantastic. Great solos in it. Very 70s-ish sounding. A little bit of a modern twist. Just a great album front to back, and it's short. It's 30 minutes long, 8 songs. It leaves you wanting more. We'll be talking about it more in depth later on, but this album is fantastic. Dirty Honey, self-titled.
All right. BC, what do you got?
I've bin listening to a lot of Lil and Axe, too. And Ron Taylor, without Ron Taylor, I'm sorry, Lil and Axe is just lacking a little bit. But he went on to form another band with the bass player from Lil and Axe, Darren Delate, which he was the bass player in Lil and Axe, but now in this new band he plays guitar. The band's called Low Side. They do a lot of shows. I mean, it's kind of hard rock with a little flavor twist of modernish.
Okay.
But it's mainly more hard rock. It's got a good feel. Oh, the board. I mean,
They have an album?
Yeah, they have one.
Low Side.
Low Side.
Okay.
One word. I watched.
I'll have to check it
YouTube
out.
shit.
I never heard of it.
Yeah,
Ron Taylor's a singer.
that wasn't from all the albums.
Right.
Not now,
Right.
but
Owens.
him and Darren guy do like a little acoustic duo too. They play around, I want to say Texas area. Or something.
That's cool.
But I've always been a fan of Ron Taylor. So mainly Ron Taylor. He's such a kick-ass vocalist. But this new project is Low Side.
Okay, cool. I'll have to check that out. I never heard of that. I'll have to definitely check that out. And I decided to keep in the vein of AC/DC I may have even talked about this album before at some point, but this is my gem for the day. And I was actually just going through my CDs looking for something different, and I just came upon this one. It's Thunderbolt, a tribute to AC/DC, various artists. The track listing is Highway to Hell, essentially by Quiet Riot, Little Lover, Sebastian Bach, Warren D. Martini, Bobby Blotzer on that one. Back in Black, Jolene Turner, Phil Collins, Jeff Pilson. Live Wire is, that's essentially Ugly Kid Joe doing it, which is a fucking fantastic version. Sin City is pretty much the 1996 version of Great White with Jack Russell and Mark Kindle. And I think that Jack Russell, I think out of all the vocals, besides one other song on here, I think this song, Jack Russell just fucking absolutely nails vocally Sin City on there. Next, you got another song by the guys from Ugly Kid Joe. They do Ride On, which is a bold choice. That's one you don't really hear. It's a deep track. Shake a Leg, John Corabi, Billy Sheehan, Pat Torpy, and Bob Kulick on that one. That's a fucking kick-ass version. John Corabi kicks ass on that one. Whole Lot of Rosie. Listen, you got a pretty good lineup on this one. The top two guys, anyways. You have Stephen Piercy and Tracy Guns, the main two guys on that one. BB's song Night Prowler. Dave Menichetti on guitar and vocals from Y&T. Tony Franklin on bass. Simon Wright on drums. And then you got Long Way to the Top If You Want to Rock and Roll with Lemmy on vocals and Simon Wright on drums and Jakey Lee on guitar. Walk All Over You with Dee Snider, Scott Ian, Frank Bello, and Charlie Benette, which is a fucking kick-ass version too. And then you got TNT with Sebastian Bach, Kelly Deal. I'm not sure who that is. He plays drums and guitar on that one. But I got to say, Little Lover on there with Sebastian Bach singing is horrible. It's fucking horrible. So, but don't let that stop you from checking it out. I don't think it's on any of the streaming
That's
stuff.
one song out of.
Yeah, but it's good though. It's a real beat. I know BC's familiar with this because we rocked to this a lot back in the day. So it's Thunderbolt tribute to AC/DC. So there's our gems. That's what mine. BC's got some Million Acts and a spin-off band from them, Low Side. BB's got Hurricane song In the Fire from Slave to the Thrill, and Dylan's got the self-titled Dirty Honey album, which we will talk about, get into that a little more, see what everybody thinks about that. So, back to AC/DC set list. So, BC, wow factor time. Let's go, bitch.
ACBC.
There you go.
My sound's going to be all acoustic.
BC.
That's the wow factor.
And good night, everybody.
That's the wow factor. Oh, no, I'm going to be opposite of everybody so far. The last few years, with the way our music scene has gone, and I think we've seen more shows recently in smaller places than bigger places.
In arenas, yeah.
So I said my show will take place in like the staircase, maybe the size of the second staircase, or maybe
Probably 300 people.
what was that place we saw in New York City, that club? Remember we talked about? Anyways,
The one I can never think of the name of?
yeah,
Oh.
something
That
like
place.
something intimate, something very
Be like BB King's type size
something like
place.
that, yeah. And it's just like the stage.
The Roseland
I
Ballroom.
was gonna say the Roseland.
Is that what?
I think it's
Queen's
Roseland.
Drag, Arm St. Mm-hmm. Something like that. Not big, but not big. Not to get too crazy. It is funny. So, get stage. No, nothing fancy. Some lights. Not even the name of the band in the background.
Wow.
We're in a book. There's 2-3 bars at the place. Everybody's drinking, having a good time. Smoking is available if you want.
Yeah.
We're going old school.
Nice.
So of course, before the show starts, I had to throw this in. I was going the same route you were. I was going to go Bon Scott only because I'm a diehard Bon Scott guy when it comes to AC/DC. But I said no, there's too many songs I like. I got to throw a few of them in there. So typical. Let's go down and they're playing. Are you ready? I just love that.
Harpo intro song.
Harpo days, yeah.
I just think that'd be. And then when he started saying his list, I'm going. Then you hear, and then as that guy cuts out, they kick in the riff raff. To me, that's just a cranking Bon Scott song. I mean,
Just get everybody
get
in the
every
mood.
up.
Yep.
So they run through that song, kicking that song. And of course, the places all happen. The second song will be "Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be," because Bon Scott is the vocalist for all these songs. I forgot to say it in the beginning. Even the Brian Johnson ones, Brian's not saying it because it's Bon Scott, because it's my show.
I can do what I want.
This is my dream.
When I said dream set list, we're really fucking dreaming.
So, okay, after that, we're going to keep it in, we're going to kick it in a little Sin City. Very, I guess, smoky club. I mean, I guess, to me, that would be the ideal show for me. After that, they would kick in Shoot the Thrill.
Love that song.
That's, and it's funny, I'm going to break more rules.
Yeah.
I'll explain later. After that, they're going to kick in a Whole Lot of Rosie. You gotta throw that in there. And again, Bon Scott version of What Do You Do for Money?
Yeah.
That, to me, I guess that's a song I'd love to see live. And if you're going to do that song, you gotta give him the dog a bone. So what are we 7 into it? Okay. As everybody in the place is having a real good time now, they kick in to Have a Drink on Me, which a lot of people are already having too many drinks.
Just the Bon Scott version.
Whole Bon Scott version. After that, they're going to let There Be Rock. After that, I would have them kick into Touch Too Much. Of course, Bon Scott.
Yes.
After that, you got to kick in with Jailbreak. I just love that song. It's a classic in my book. Number 12 be Walk All Over You.
Yes.
Then they're going to slow it down a little bit. Can't get every 98 degrees in the place. People are passing out.
That's right.
They're going to do the Jack. So this is a club show. And then Live Wire. Never favorite of mine, Live Wire. And to finish it off with the classic Highway to Hell. And that's the show. Because I had 15 songs.
Okay.
I had 15 songs in my head for some reason, so I cut it way down. Of course, I always screw it up. But after Highway to Hell, there's no encores. They just, the lights come up and they're playing Ride On as people are leaving. Very low key, very just play that over the PA.
Very nice.
But after
I would love to see Bon Scott do like Giving the Dog a Bone and What Would You Do for Money. Oh my God, that'd be so fucking amazing. And it's so weird because I think when that humongous AC/DC box set came out, I think the only reason why I bought that because there was like rumors of
the Bonfire?
The Bonfire one. And I don't know where I saw it or who told me, but Back in Black was done by Bon Scott. I'm like, oh my God, that'd be so fucking amazing. I want that. And I think I got it on the Gallery of Sound and I throw it in, it's the same fucking album. Like,
Yeah, that was a rumor that was going around. I don't know. That may still be true. I don't know because
maybe it's out there.
I don't know if they were recording then. It's AC/DC fans out there. Let us know. Is that an actual thing?
yeah.
Does it exist?
No, you just asked Surrey.
What the hell did I say?
Siri.
Yeah, I like the song selection. It would be interesting to hear Bon Scott sing those songs. And What Do You Do for Money, Honey is fucking fantastic song. Fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that was a very big surprise that Bon Scott came back from the dead and was singing, Brian Johnson AC/DC songs. I believe you had 4 or 5 songs that I have, maybe more. I stopped. I was using my hands and then lost count. So, but it won't be long till we find out how many, anyways. But that really solid set list. I would be very interested in hearing Bon Scott sing the Brian Johnson songs because they have such different voices, and Bon adds a little more pepper to the ball, if you will, a little bit of a little English to it, where he has some talking and like patter and
Different inflections.
So it'd be very interesting to do it because Brian Johnson kind of goes straight forward. Occasionally he'll add a little something like the or like the so get out of your house and come down here. So rock and roll ain't no rhythm, man. I mean that was early Brian Johnson, but later Brian Johnson doesn't quite do that. Yeah, definitely interesting to see that show for sure. I mean I prefer Bon Scott over Brian Johnson, but yeah, absolutely.
And like Steve, I stay away from the
The latter stuff, the like
good,
90s and 2000s stuff. It was all just
the same.
too much of the same.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what they say. We keep making the same album over and over.
I mean, nobody's done anything past like 90, right?
No, the newest song I think was Thunderstruck that I had.
Yeah, Razor's Edge. Nobody went past Razor's Edge so far.
No.
Okay. Interesting.
I know what she said so far. All right, Dylan, what do you got?
Okay, so I went a completely different direction than everybody else.
I only went AC/DC 1990.
No, I didn't quite do that crazy. I decided to take a page out of Rush's R40 tour and kind of do a time machine tour of sorts, where we go through their entire catalog, play one song from each album, and maybe some extras at the end or sprinkled in throughout. I'm calling it the Back in Time tour. Playing Back in Black. Basically, what we're going to get is some hits, but a lot of them are going to be the lesser-known songs on the album, give or take. So we're going to start the concert with footage of the band throughout the years, starting from the very beginning of their club days in Australia, things like that, footage of their album covers and stuff like that, songs that are like from that era will play as it goes, almost like a radio tuning, so you'll hear like High Voltage, Dirty Deeds, songs that aren't going to be played throughout the night. So people still get a taste of them, but not the full song because we don't have time to do all those songs. Hell's Bells going through, things like that. And then we end on the album cover for Power Up, and it's kind of pulsing in the screen. And then the band comes on stage playing Demon Fire. Really the best song from the new album. Fantastic opener, I think. Kind of a sudden opener of sorts because of the so it's kind of a different kind of opener for them to really throw the crowd off kilter a little bit. And then the stage kind of transforms into a rock quarry of sorts as like kind of rock pillars pop up and the rocker bus logo comes on the screen for Baptism by Fire, my favorite song from that. And I was realizing, oh my God, I have so many Fire songs on this list that I could have picked a Fire song on most of these albums because I realized they have so many songs that have fire in it.
AC/DC, the Fire album.
Yeah. There will be more Fire songs later on, but we're going to stop it there. Then we're going to Black Ice. The stage kind of cracks into little things. Oh, and we're going with like the current lineup right now because this is kind of like a looking back tour that they might do that they'll never do because of some of the song choices. Then we're going to go into probably the most popular song from Black Ice, Rock and Roll Train. Running right off the tracks. Really good mid-tempo song that brought the band back.
Good background vocals on that one.
And then after that, there's going to be a statue of Angus coming up from out of the stage for the Stiff Upper Lip album. And that's kind of, we're going to play Safe in New York City because we're playing in Madison Square Garden. Ooh. So a little bit of a sinister, a really nice groove song for them. Then we are going to go into the Ball Breaker album, and there's going to be kind of Roman columns popping up, and plus like a giant thing. This statue of Angus becomes a statue of Julius Caesar, and we're going to play Hail Caesar to go into that. Then after that, we're going to the Razor's Edge album for Fire Your Guns. Really great song, underrated song from that album because you could have, there's Money Talks, there's another song that I might play later on, but I figured I'd go with Fire Your Guns, a nice heavy paced song after the mid-tempo Hail Caesar, but Hail Caesar's got that crowd, hail, participation, so I thought I'd pick that. Number 7, we're going into the, I believe Blow Up Your Video, Heat Seeker. Really great song, a good rocker, because I'm a heat seeker. Then I could have went with Who Made Who. I was going to do Who Made Who. I decided to go with another song from another soundtrack, from the Last Action Hero soundtrack, Big Gun. Great song. We're going to have footage of Arnold Schwarzenegger from the movie playing on the stage as they're singing, and Brian Johnson's going to get like a T-shirt cannon that he's going to fire off during the solo part of the song as he's singing to do Big Gun. And then we're doing from Fly on the Wall, Shake Your Foundations. Shake your foundations. There's going to be a fly kind of buzzing around the stage, a giant fly overhead of the band. And then we're going to the Flick of the Switch album. I was going to go Flick of the Switch, but I said to go for Guns for Hire. And there's going to be, kind of guns descending from the ceiling, a giant switch that's going to be right behind the band popping up. And all these different things are going to kind of stay on the stage off to the side a little bit. And then we're going to go from Guns for Hire into the For Those About to Rock. I Put the Finger on You. I did have that on my list. A classic song. I was going to do that or Inject the Venom because I wanted to do one of the lower songs from that album that are really good. And then we're going to go to the Back in Black album, and I had to pick Back in Black because the audience is pretty starving for a hit at this point. so
Play the hits!
some of them might be rioting if they're not into their back catalog, so I have to kind of get them back with Back in Black. It's just a classic song. You can't not get excited for it.
Don't worry, all the casual fans have already walked out.
This is for the AC/DC fan club. Then we're going to the Highway to Hell album, and I'm going to do Walk All Over You. A really good song. A song that has the fast pace and it has the slower pace stuff. I am keeping the intro, though, because the intro is a good part of that song. And then we're going to the Power Ridge album, and we're doing Sin City. There's going to be giant dice coming down, and chips are going to go across the stage. Cards, like the stage is going to be like cards like projected onto it for Sin City. And then the giant blow up woman's going to come out for a Whole Lotta Rosie from for the Let There Be Rock album. And then for the Dirty Deeds album, we're going to do Problem Child. I am hot, and when I'm not, I'm cold as ice. Classic song from that. I was going to do Dirty Deeds or Big Balls, but I wanted to do Problem Child because I didn't do it in the other album that it's on, Let There Be Rock. And then for the second last song of the set, the main set, it's going to be Jailbreak. Just like everybody else, it's a great song that's on 74 Jailbreak. That was like one song that I had to include for sure. Angus's solo is going to be in here. It's going to be shorter than it is at Donington, but it's still going to be in there just to give people the taste of, give Angus his due as he could do it. And then we're going to end the main set like a lot of other people did with It's a Long Way to the Top from the very first High Voltage. It's a classic way to end the song. And, it's almost like a culmination of their entire discography because they made it to the top, but they're back to the beginning. So we've seen how long of a way it is to the top, so it's kind of a reflective song to end the main set. And then the encore, we're going to come out to the dulcet tones of Thunderstruck. That's get the crowd back in.
I know this one. Oh my god! Hey!
But it's a hit. And then we're gonna end with, I think, probably one of the best AC/DC closers for those about to rock. You have the cannons going. The jam session at the end is so great. You end the show on bombast. I could have ended with Highway to Hell, but I had to end for those about to rock because that right there is, they just showed all of their rocking throughout the decades, and they're ending with a salute to the future generation of rock and roll. For those about to rock, we salute you. And they end the show with the cannons firing. So that's my show, the Back in Time tour. What do you guys think?
I like it. I think it's cool. I love the idea because the R40 was freaking cool as shit. You and I saw it together.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Just fucking fantastic. I really liked it. I like some of the song choices, some bold song choices. Hail Caesar, cool crowd getting into type thing. Fire Your Guns, which is a great deep track from Razors, and they actually did that one live.
Yeah.
I actually got to see them do that live. Heat Seeker, I like. Actually, Heat Seeker.
That's great.
Is the first song that I got to see AC/DC ever do live.
Oh, wow.
Because I saw them, the first time I saw them was on Blow Up Your Video tour. Mm-hmm. And he, shot up from the middle of the stage from this, missile type thing. Huh. It was cool as fuck. Big Gun from Last Action Hero is very cool. I love Shake Your Foundation. The background vocals in that is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Put the Finger on You. That was, I just couldn't fit that one in my list. But fantastic song. I really like the theme. I like the going back because we did see that with Rush, and I'm like, okay, that'd be cool. And I like how, the only thing I don't think you just didn't devolve the stage.
Yeah,
how Rush did.
Well, I wasn't as familiar.
Which you didn't want to copy totally.
Yeah, I didn't want to copy it totally, and I wasn't as familiar with how AC/DC has done their stage shows. I've never seen them live, so I don't have that frame of reference. So I was just kind of doing what would be good for each song or what would be good for the album cover itself, just to do a little different and something that I'm aware of.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Even down the road, if the Scorpions did an R40 tour and pick one song from each album, but that's a great concept. I really, really enjoyed this concept. Demon Fire from the new album is a fan favorite for me. I love that song. Safe in New York City, was that on another movie? Was that on a movie?
I'm not sure. Let me look real
maybe,
quick.
but
feel safe in New
Because
York
you were
City.
talking about the other song that was the
Big
Iron
Gun.
Man one from Big Guns. But
They did do the soundtrack for Iron Man 2.
I don't know why when you said Safe in New York City, I'm like, oh, we gotta remember that. And then I'm like, is that on the movie? Is that on a soundtrack?
I don't think so.
It doesn't look like it is.
No.
They might have had a video for it or something, but
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
Oh, quick question. Is Chris Slade currently with the band?
he is not.
Okay,
Phil
well,
Rudd is back with the
it's Chris Slade drumming.
band. Okay.
That's the only change.
Yeah.
I do like Phil Rudd, but I love Chris Slade.
Chris Slade on that Donington video, man. He just I love his style of
Yeah.
drumming, the AC/DC
And
stuff.
you
He's
can
got
tell he
he's got the
loves
little
it.
bigger kit, and he's just Phil Rudd's like just.
He's in the
He's the
pocket.
Charlie Watt of hard rock. He's just there, keeping the beat. I mean,
does the
fantastic drummer,
job.
solid. But like Chris Slade, you could tell he was into it. Like,
Yeah.
And I love when he got the big, like Todd Zuckerman on Styx has that bass drum on the side. I love when they hit that one. I don't know why. Every time I watch Todd and he does those videos, I'm like, hit that fucking tom that's up on the side. And Chris Slade had that too. He had one on each side.
Yeah.
Because when they do the thunder, and I'm like, keep on. I love when they hit. Because remember when we saw Heaven and Hell in Minneapolis, he had those ones that they were on these spring things, and he would hit them, and during the solo, the things are springing back and forth. That was cool. I'll if we interview him again, I'll have to ask him about that. But though I thought it was, I of course digress. But Chris Slade, I agree with that. And actually, I told these guys when we took the break for the gym, I'm like, I fucked up. I meant to mention when they do the bar scene at my concert, when they do the Jack, they're doing the original album version about the card playing,
Oh, the card puns.
the card ones. So that's what they're not doing. She told me she was a virgin. That's what they're doing. They're not doing that version. They're doing the album version. Because remember the album version, BC. That was one of our best strip club moments ever.
Dealt with before.
She said she never had a full house.
All right, so there's
Wait,
did
is-
everybody?
wait,
go?
wait,
Oh,
I
go ahead,
went
BC.
BC.
Oh yeah, go ahead, BC.
Dylan, very bold. I like this.
Yeah.
I like the concept, and the set list is all over the place. I like it. Like Demon Fire. I mean, for newer tunes, that's really good. I like that. To be a hate seeker, that's one of my favorite later or mid later tunes. And Shaker Foundation again. That's another good one. Put the finger on you. But yeah, I mean, I like that one. As soon as he said Hail Caesar, I'm thinking this is important.
See, I think Wolf when I hear Hail Caesar.
Yeah.
As soon as I hear Hail Caesar.
My hockey team sucks. All right, sorry.
On a
Go ahead, BB.
I did.
Oh, you did?
I
Oh,
did.
okay.
Yep.
All right, guys. There's our AC/DC in quotations dream set list. Some of them were reality based. Other ones were not. But they were all cool. There was only I think one bad song mentioned tonight. Night Prowler. I mean, other than that, well, I don't know. I didn't like Wright on either. Sorry, BC.
No, they're playing it over the PA.
I
They're
still
not
don't like
doing
it.
it.
Doesn't make me like it though. Actually, because I just heard the Sebastian Bach version from the thing today. I'm like,
see,
it's fucking terrible. Was it right on?
Don't tie that. No.
Oh, Little Lover. Oh, that
Little
one
Lover,
sucks too. Yeah. Oh no, right on. Oh, that's the one. The Ugly Kid Joe guys do it too. I'm not a fan of that one either. But hey, you can't like it all. What's your favorite song, ACD? What's your favorite ACDC song, BC?
All of them.
How about you, BB?
I love them all.
How about you, Dylan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All night
No.
long.
You shook me.
No. All right. Name the third track on Ball Breaker. Okay. See.
Can you name the third track of
No,
Ball?
that's what I mean. But there's probably fans that are like, is that an album by them?
Oh, God,
An
yeah.
album?
I never heard of that band.
Is it Cover You in Oil? Let me see. That's my guess. Is Cover You in Oil.
It'd be like George Costanza, the
Yeah.
girl rubbing the
I
oil
got
on his bald
pee,
head.
the ball of oil. Oh, that was the second track. The Fuhrer is the third track.
The Fuhrer.
I was close.
All right, so there's our ACD. I love when we do ACDC stuff because it's always fun. I mean, there's so much good music between Brian Johnson and Bon Scott, and you have the common denominator of Angus, and you had it Angus and Malcolm. You had the core of the band there.
Sure.
I mean, those guys wrote all those songs, and I guess the songs from Power Up. They had demos and stuff done of songs that Malcolm had and they were going to use them, but I guess they tried to, and they sounded too spliced together. So they used the riffs, but they recorded them themselves. It wasn't like the actual Malcolm playing. It was the riffs and songs from him, but it wasn't the actual Malcolm playing this because it sounded too chopped up and it didn't sound like actual, you know what I mean, like an actual song. So, which I'm glad they didn't. I think that would have kind of been a disservice to him, like have something come out and have it sound like crap. But like at least the spirit of Malcolm is still there in those songs. So that was like when John Oliva did that last solo album that he did. That was the last stuff that him and his brother wrote together, and he said that's it. There's no more. So I'm assuming there's probably more AC/DC stuff, but I really don't think we're going to get another album out of these guys. It was, because this one was recorded 2 years ago because we talked about this when we first started doing the podcast. And they had the pictures of those guys in Vancouver and, Angus. And there was the one picture of, I think, Phil Rudd, Cliff Williams, and Brian Johnson outside having a cigarette or whatever. And that was 2017, 2018. So that was recorded, more than 2 years ago. So that was like three years ago. So this album's been in the can for a while.
Well, Dylan, have you seen the footage? There's maybe 50 seconds of Brian Johnson singing with the Foo Fighters. I think it was in February.
No, I haven't.
It's very short, and in the Foo Fighter, Brian Johnson singing.
concert?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be released. I think it's a Foo Fighter thing, and I think it's like some kind of documentary thing because it's like it was recorded and it's videoed, and there was like not many people there.
Are they like in a studio or?
No, I want to say they're like in like this, maybe like the Staples Center in Los Angeles or something.
Yeah, it looks like just recently he covered Back in Black with them.
Right,
because they would bring a bunch of people out and do stuff.
He sounds a little rough.
Yeah, they usually have guests come up.
They've done that because Paul Stanley came out and did Detroit Rock City with them. We had the
Stevie
Bad
Nicks came
Brains
up.
come out when we saw them. They're fucking terrible.
Well, the night before, Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers came
That would
up.
have been better. At least it would have been someone I knew. He's that Will Smith guy, right?
Yeah. No, Will Ferrell.
Or Will Ferrell. Yeah.
Yeah,
Will Smith.
I can't.
He's
see
not
That
the
Will
Fresh
Smith.
Prince.
I can't see them doing anything new the way he sounded, 4 months ago.
No, well.
Hey, you could do whatever in the
3 months
studio,
ago. Yeah.
So, did you guys ever hear? Did you ever hear
Live.
Brian Johnson speak? He is fucking hard to understand. I watched an interview. It was on.
I thought I was bad.
It was on YouTube or something. I watched it. Yeah, he's like the English BC because he was speaking and he was talking about when he got his audition for AC/DC and stuff like that, and they were talking about it, and I'm like, what the fuck is he saying? Like you couldn't is he like actually speaking fucking English here? Huh. But like his accent is so
Speaking the
was
Queen's
like a
English.
Cockney English accent or
He's
whatever
from
they
Dunstan,
call it.
I believe.
But it was hard to discern, and even with my practice with translating for BC all these years, I still even had a problem, doing trying to understand what Brian Johnson was talking about.
I don't think I've ever really heard him talk. Other than a few words here and there.
No, he's like there's part I'm like, ooh, like what the fuck is he saying? But guys, gotta love AC/DC. Always a favorite band. Always someone cool to talk about. Their catalog is fantastic. You have the Bon Scott and you have the Brian stuff. But you know what? You don't have. I think you have a divide, but not a huge divide. You have the Sammy Dave. That's a huge chasm.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as large with Brian Johnson and Bon Scott because it's weird because you don't have Bon Scott now to do any other songs, right? But like with Sammy and Dave, like when Sammy got in Van Halen, he had to do Dave songs. When Brian Johnson got in AC/DC, he had to do Bon songs. But people didn't mind. But like David Lee Roth would never do a Sammy song. You know what I'm getting? At?
Yes, right.
I think that's why you don't have that huge divide.
It's the style, I think. The style of... They're not too different. They're different, but they're not too different.
Right. They're not as different, I think, as like...
Dave and Sam.
Take 1984 and 5150, the difference in
yeah,
them.
that was totally different. Right. It's pretty much...
Yeah. Well,
the music stayed the same, just a different vocalist with the same... Close.
Yeah.
Where at 5150, music was... totally different than
I bust about Sammy, but I enjoy some of the Sammy stuff, but let's not get into that. So, all right, guys, listen. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll go around the table. We'll wrap up and we'll get out of here. Dylan.
AC/DC is a band that I could put on at any time, and I could listen to them and enjoy them. I don't have to be in a certain mood to listen to them. They're just kind of an all-around. If I'm feeling down, I'll just put on Back in Black, or I'll put on a Highway to Hell, and just pick myself up. They're that kind of band that just. They're an anytime band, the pinch hitter, if you will, of music. I really, really enjoy them. They're iconic for a reason. I loved all of everybody's set lists. And you can listen to the songs that we talked about on our Spotify playlist of the week, which will be in the show notes. Be sure to give us a share on all of the platforms and let us know what your ideal set list would be, or whose show would you go to? Which show did you like the best? Let us know, because we want to hear your thoughts, and we love conversing with you.
Yeah, AC/DC for me were a very early band. I remember having the Back in Black album from Ames that year, 1980. So I'm 8 years old, maybe 9. If I got it a year later. So these guys are very early in my wheelhouse, and it's funny. And I know I've said this before. I had the Back in Black. The next album I had was Dirty Deeds, and you look at it like, well. The lead singer is different, but they sounded the same in a way. It was just a crazy time for me with AC/DC. But another early band, foundation band for me. Love these guys. I kind of tend to hover towards the Bon Scott stuff, but the Brian Johnson stuff is still amazing. Flick of the Switch and Fly on the Wall. It's just great albums. A lot of deep track stuff on there, and I love this. I love this concept. I love doing stuff like this, of just putting your own concert together in the songs that you want to hear. And I would love to do something like Dylan did, like down the road, and just like pull out a band and hey, let's have a concert. We'll just, we'll do Twisted Sister. You pick one song from each album. We'll have We'll
have a 6-song concert.
Yeah, that's true. Never mind. Yeah,
three songs for
three-song concert. But yeah, great job, good job. I'm gonna stop now.
I'm gonna shut up.
5-song. I think they only have 5 albums, right? Under the Blade, You Can't Stop Rock and Roll, Stay Hungry.
Come
out and play.
See, but I will say for the Rush thing, they didn't just do one song from each album.
No, they didn't.
I lucked
out. But that was like a 3-hour concert, and they took a break in the middle.
Yeah, I lucked out that AC/DC has like 17 albums, so I was able to like do one song for each album under the format. But yeah, Rush they did multiple songs from different albums.
And I wish other bands would do that. I wish Kiss would do that.
Yeah.
An Evening With. I wish Iron Maiden would do that.
Yeah.
Bands like Priest, it'd be cool to see a band do ACD, because then you can stretch it out, take a break in the middle, and then come back and do an hour and a half. I think the Rush show was like probably 3 hours.
Yeah,
but you're not sitting through an opening band. You get there, boom, the main band's on. I think that's a great concept for concerts. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
BB.
I'm glad you didn't. You saved me, because I was drowning in.
Give me a band.
The brain went the wrong way.
Help me. AC/DC. What can I say about these guys? I mean, it's a all-time great band, and like you said, I think no matter even the newer stuff that I'm not really into, if you're out somewhere and you hear it come on, you're kind of like, you don't mind it.
Say, hey, that's AC/DC.
I don't think you ever hear an AC/DC song come on and you're like, nah.
Change it.
I don't think I've ever done that. Even it's the newer stuff, that even the mid-tempo stuff, you leave it on.
It's still AC/DC.
You won't go to it out of the blue, but if it comes on, you're like, still AC/DC. It's just iconic band there. And
yeah, I agree with BC. Even though I don't like Night Prowler, I don't like Right On. Like I'm not gonna. If I pulled up AC/DC on my phone and I hit shuffle play, I'm in an AC/DC mood. Like I wouldn't skip those songs. Shook Me All Night Long, I probably would move on from, but for the most part, just a fantastic band. They have such a varied catalog. No, not varied, but like a good catalog. Like you said, BC. Like if you're in a bar and someone played something from fucking Ball Breaker, you'd be like, oh, okay, man, I haven't heard this one in a while. You wouldn't be like, oh, who the fuck played this?
Who played this? Get the fuck out of here.
You would just be like, hey, Well, they say like AC/DC is like pizza. There's no bad pizza. There's no bad AC/DC. It's just and like Dylan said, like you don't even have to be in the mood for them. You can just hear them, put them on, and you're like,
They come
okay,
on, you're like, yeah.
cool, And I personally, I do prefer Back in Black over Highway to Hell, but I mean that's when I came in to them. You know what I mean? But some people even came in after that and still prefer the Bon Scott stuff. I don't love it all. But I'm not skipping, They're actually. Let me put it this way: out of all the bands that I love, they're probably the band that I will skip. They have the least skippable songs for me. Because there's some Iron Maiden ones I'm like, But like, there's some Kiss songs like, ooh.
There's not a lot of songs with AC/DC that I'm like actively not liking. Like there are songs that I'm like, okay, this is just okay. Like, I enjoy it, but it's okay.
Right.
Like, there's not songs that I'm like, oh, this fucking sucks.
Right.
Like, what the hell? Yeah, there are some Maiden songs that I do think
I'm
suck.
like, ugh. Yeah, so, guys, that's AC/DC. That's our Dream live set. And make sure if you guys are listening to this today when it came out, make sure you check out our live stream. They're always a blast. We always have a good time. Always have a ton of comments and interaction with our listeners. Shout out Loudcast listeners, Grown Up Rock listeners. It's always fun getting the comments, and we get some guys from other podcasts come on and make comments. Brad Rustoven from Slamfest podcast, he's always on there. Our buddy Joe Casero, that is a friend of our guys here. He always gets on and comments. He's a huge Kicks fan, and we may do I think we may have a Kicks episode coming up down the road, and maybe Joe will give him a give him a shot at the title here. Bring him up and do a little kick, something with Kicks. Guys, thank you very much. I'm glad. I'm glad to be back. Glad to be back with the boys here. And I wanted to make sure that when we came back after I came back from vacation was an episode that we were all here for, and actually we will all be here again for next week's episode, which is a cool one, one of our yearly things too. So thanks for listening, you guys. You guys fucking rock out there. Keep up the good work, sharing us, interacting with us. Check out the live stream. Get on there, bullshit with us, crack a beer, have a beer with us. And thanks for listening, everybody. And we will see you next time, and there definitely will be a next time.